Welcome, beautiful souls, to a day in the life of Mark Bajerski. And what does he do during the day? And how did he get into crystals? Because this is all about crystals today. So crystals are part of my life since the moment I realized that crystals have an amazing energy. That energy really is an uplifting, positive energy. Never have I touched a crystal that I felt was negative in any way. So that was something that was quite beautiful. To understand that crystals don't hold negative energy is quite an amazing thing in my world. That's my interpretation. You might think differently. But I've never come across a crystal that had negative energy in. And one thing I found fascinating is that they clear negative energy but hold positive energy. It was really incredible when I started to understand this, and then I realized that they actually not just hold, but they actually absorb and create like a database of positive energy, and I call it memory. So from that moment on, I started to experiment. I was so fascinated with crystals. So I experiment on a certain crystal for a guy who, say, was addicted to gambling. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to really work on a crystal for gambling. So I started getting a crystal. First of all, how I would do it is I'd have a bunch of crystals, like on here. This was my tree, my crystal tree. This crystal tree was purposely designed in my head that this would be 10 hours to 15, sometimes 20, then it'd go up to the next level, another 10 to 15 hours, and then up here for another 10 hours. And when they're done, then they were ready for either giving away. At the beginning of my journey of crystals were given away, really, because I was doing healing sessions and psychic readings, and after that session I always knew which crystal they needed. And it was fascinating because the crystals that I would work on, I'd know what that crystal was worked on more than anything else. So like, wow, it'd be a young girl who came because she was abused, and then a mum would come who'd been abused by her husband, a child would come who'd been abused by their uncle, and I'd always go for that crystal. So that crystal was retaining the healing energy of abuse. So a day would come where a client would lie down and have a healing session, no words were said, and I'd pull that very crystal out without no thought, give it to them and say, this is a gift. And then I realized, wow, this lady's just told me that she's been abused, and I've just given that right. You understand how it works. It works far greater than any healer or psychic could ever even try to say, oh, I did that. No, you didn't. Spirit did that. If you believe in that anyway, or another world did that, prepared that crystal. So I started to get into this exploration of understanding of memory being placed into crystal. And then I wanted to understand how a certain crystal would work best for an energy to clear or strengthen, because that's basically what it is. You're either strengthening a certain part of the physical and emotional and spiritual, or you're cleansing, clearing, detoxing what you don't want. So it works either or, a bit like what you take, what you put in your mouth or what you don't put in your mouth. It's kind of that same energy to me. I'll just show you these. So these have been in my oils now for ages. I remember dropping an angel, a big angel I had with wings. These are from the oil. These are from the oil from the healing heartache oil. All of these, I'll talk about them in a bit. So what I did was I started to look for crystals all over the world. So I put the messages out with all my friends, all my clients, and people were just not from dealers at this point. I just wanted people that I knew to send me crystals. So they were sending me all sorts of crystals, and I was getting big crystals like this on my website, big ones where you can work with it as a healer. And then I was getting like the little pieces, the little tiny ones, and I was mounting them in my own way. So I'd mount them like this, put them in mounts like that. And then I found a family in Bali who mounted them in such amazing ways. And I just love the mountains and the settings, and I told them how I wanted them. So I set them like this now, and I have a little stamp which is MB, Mark Bajerski, because I'm proud, because I've worked many hours on these crystals. Each crystal I worked many hours on. And I put a certain energy into them, which is a memory. And then I go to the website and write down exactly what energy is inside there for the healing of that purpose. And it's completely different normally from a book. So you might go online and read a book which is the Crystal Bible. It won't be anything like that, because my crystals are not what you're reading as the crystal itself, but as what I've put into them. That's the difference between Mark Bajerski pure energy healing crystals. It's pure energy healing memory. That's why it takes so long to work on one crystal. And this is why I have this kind of idea of, when I first started, a client would lie down, I'd give a healing session and place 5 or 6 crystals on them, take them crystals off, put them back on the stand at the bottom or halfway, depending on where I took them from, and then worked on the next client and the next client. So you'd get sometimes 100 to 300 hours of memory of whatever the healing was taking place on that client. Fascinating how organic that happened and how it works. And then you get to hear people like Dr. Emoto back then, when I was starting off, which was 2 decades ago, and Dr. Emoto was now just coming out talking about that you can put memory into crystals, into water, because water is crystal. So yeah, it was validated. So then I went around the world collecting the most amazing and very unusual crystals. Look at the formation of this one. Very beautiful. And then I like my matrix, all my beautiful matrix crystals with black tourmaline, with quartz. Fascinating. I just love any crystal. And I like, just the beautiful stone itself. And then all of a sudden, boom, you've got your beautiful little crystal on there. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. How it should be in its mother stone. Being born as a beautiful amethyst. What a beautiful pointer. What a beautiful crystal that is. So I started hunting for all of these crystals all over the world. And to the point where my life just became crystals, really. Every day was crystals. Every day was more and more people sharing crystals and me becoming fascinated with crystals, and please send me this. And I'd work on that particular crystal. And I'd try and understand its frequency to begin with, and what kind of frequency would feel best to put in them. Not only did I go with this flow, but then I started to work on people's issues, asthma issues, and illnesses of cancer, and illnesses of multiple sclerosis, even though I can't say that word, but gout, tinnitus, all of these illnesses. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try and see which works. So I started taking different crystals from all over the world and started working on them. Is there a crystal that works best for this? So, and then Moldavite, and then Tektite, and then Herkimer Diamond, and Cavensite. And I started really focusing on what is this crystal best for. And then I started coming up with these ideas and sharing them with people, saying, look guys, I'm sorry, but I really don't feel the same as all the books, what they say. And this is my feeling, this is my interpretation, because I'm sat here with this individual crystal. And then I realized that each individual crystal is very unique to its own. So then I realized that you can't really say it for everyone, so try a bunch. So I got 10 and worked on them and thought, okay, these work well in this particular way. And then I started putting it out there and say, look, I've got a group of these crystals. This is what I've attuned to. This is the memory I put into them. And people used to just buy them off Facebook. They used to sell within seconds. And people used to come back to me and say, Mark, it bloody worked. And I'd say, it does, doesn't it? And then I used to get crystals that I have 30 crystals in front of me and just pick one up and just feel its energy and feel what it was doing to my body. So some crystals are amazing at cleansing and clearing certain parts of the body as well. So that's when I'd start on that crystal and I'd build up that same or very similar memory in there with pure energy healing with my clients. So it's fascinating. So today I'm here working on crystals. I've got 13 very unusual agates over there. I've got these here that I'm working on now, which is this collection, a beautiful collection that I'm working on in these next coming weeks, which is Silicon Valley and Chungai. They're gorgeous. Working on them. Working on these two, which are, again, these are all my MB designs, and they've all been made to specific shapes, which are amazing. This is Moldavite and Tektite, so I'm working on them today as well, even though I said I was going to take a day off. And I guess I've got these that I've just about finished. I think I've got about another couple of hours, and then these are ready to go on markbajerski.com. Moldavite and Tektite again. Nice size. You know, some people like smaller ones. I particularly, for me being a healer, I like the bigger ones. Like this. And this one is Tektite, Moldavite, and Herkimer diamond. And at the side of it, I've got a very beautiful Silicon Valley right now. So that's what I'm working on. It's a beautiful day. I'm always loving new crystals all the time, working on them daily. I've worked on crystals for 2 decades now, every day of my life, every day, every single day. It's not a hobby, it's not part-time, it's full-time. I've got crystals all over the room, I can show you. Crystals down here that I'm working on, some very, very special ones as well. Very amazing, gorgeous, beautiful crystals. And these are the agates that I was talking about. These are Tissit. These are very interesting. I'm really enjoying working on the Tissit at the moment. So, yeah, really busy. Really busy, working very hard. And that's why I appreciate all of you and all that you've done to support markbajerski.com. And I hope you really love my crystals as much as I loved working with them. I really mean that, because it means a lot to me. I love reading the messages. I love reading the messages. Thank you so much, guys. It's great support. It's great confirmation. It makes me feel like I'm doing a good job. I want to feel like I'm making a difference. That's the whole point. And if we can help others every day by Mark Bajerski being successful, then it's a win-win. So I guess today I get this feeling that I want to gift all of these away. These are special crystals, guys. They're not just crystals, they're special. So I don't know how many there's here, but these are going down to Mark Bajerski office. I'm going to get the girls, beautiful, to gift one of these away, and even the smaller ones, because the power in the smaller ones are just as equal to the power in the big ones. But there you go. Some people just don't get that, but I'm sure you do. So there you go. I'm going to gift these away to you today. So what I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, if you've ever received anything from markbajerski.com, please let somebody else new receive something. I've been gifting away for years now. If you've ever received something, just step aside and let somebody else, because there's a lot of new people on this site, and they would love to try at least to see if there is any difference between the energy that Mark Bajerski works with on these crystals. Let's see. Amazing crystals. So I'm not egoistic, but I would like, if it's possible for you and you want one of these, just to say, I love you, Mark. Ooh. And I'll scroll down and I'll choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24 people. 24 beautiful people for a crystal. Okay, guys, have a most beautiful day. I'm sure I haven't really fully explained how and why these crystals are so different from a regular crystal, which is amazing from any crystal store, but maybe some people can share their experience underneath here as well. And I'll check that out, and if I feel that energy as well, I'll probably gift you some as well. As a special treat, as I'll get maybe three of the Moldavite and Tektites for anybody who wants to write their true story. True story, guys, no exaggerations, no blowing it up, just a true story. I'll feel it, okay, of what happened when you bought a Mark Bajerski crystal with pure energy healing. Did it change your life? Did anything happen? And I'll scan through 3 of them, and I'll scan through all of them, and three of you guys which touch my heart, and it doesn't matter, whether it's long or short, if it touches my heart, I'll send you one of these beautiful Moldavite and Tektite, which are Maltex. Love them. Okay, I think I'm going now. I'm going to get some work done. Have a beautiful day. Love you all. 17 when I just saw the camera. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, numerology. I've no idea. But it was a double number. Tell me. Okay, bye. Get on with your work, Mr. Bajerski, you lazy bum.